Power Dynamics of the Sexes, a Feminist Analysis of House of Dragon. House of the Dragon, the prequel to Game of Thrones, has been garnering attention for its exploration of power dynamics through the lens of a patriarchal society. But what does it reveal about the complexities of sex and power? As a feminist analysis, we can unravel the web of relationships, expectations, and constraints that shape the characters' actions. At the heart of this show is the concept of reproductive power. Women, often depicted as vessels for men's legacy, are simultaneously gatekeepers of said legacy through their womb. This dynamic is exemplified in Rhaenyra's struggle for autonomy as she navigates the reproductive expectations placed upon her by her father, King Viserys. The notion that a woman's status is tied to her ability to bear sons, not just as a validation of a prince's worth, but also as a safeguard for the line of succession, underscores the tension between feminine autonomy and the needs of a patriarchal society. Another essential theme is the notion of masculine fragility. Otto Hightower, the manipulative and controlling Lord of Alltown, exemplifies how men, fearing loss of power and control, employ coercive tactics to maintain their position. In contrast, figures such as Daemon and Rhaenyra embody a form of agency and power independent of male validation, illustrating that women can wield influence without being beholden to the approval of men. This subtle yet powerful exploration of sex and power also highlights the ways in which societal expectations restrict women's choices and potential. Characters like Alicent and Rhaenyra embody a form of agency and resistance, often attempting to carve out space for themselves within a hypermasculine world. This is evident in their navigations of court life, their engagement in politics, and their very desire for agency over their own lives. Additionally, the show critiques the commodification of women's bodies and their utility within the pursuit of patriarchal power. The complex relationships between Rhaenyra and Daemon, and Alicent and the king, serve as a reminder that women's value and worth are often tied to their ability to provide heirs and legitimacy. This raises questions about the legacy of institutionalized misogyny, where women's agency and autonomy are subjugated to the perpetuation of power structures. In her analysis of the show, Carol Crisson argues that House of the Dragon humanizes the most powerful and the most vulnerable, compelling the viewer to consider the agency of women in all its complexity and messiness. By putting women like Rhaenyra and Alicent, all so frequently reduced to one-dimensionality, center stage, the show provides us a nuanced reflection of our own societal hang-ups, those very dynamics that govern the sex power dynamics we, as a society, consider as true. As House of the Dragon extends its exploration of power dynamics, one question becomes clear: what would women's lives look like if they had control over their own reproductive agency, free from the shackles of these impositions laid down by those most anxious and desperate for their place in history? The conclusion would leave the viewers pondering on the implications, and that perhaps a real evolution towards gender equality is starting to unfurl our capacity to recognize and acknowledge the true complexity of the power dynamics of the sexes.